get moving. It's 4:30, I always have to look, Monday, August. January 13th.
Ooh, August.
Going to start our budget season for 2025. Item 1 on the agenda, discuss vote chairperson and co-chairperson.
You're doing a wonderful job.
I second that.
All in favor?
There we are. Simple, as I told Matt, if it ain't broken.
Yep.
Okay, and we should have a vice chair just in case. I nominate the charming and gracious Christina.
Second.
Okay.
Let's do that. That way, because if I'm not gonna be here, chances are we're doing something, so you just get to run the meeting. So before we go through the items on our agenda, Matt, if you could just give us an overview of what the big plan is.
I gave you a quick budget memo document as well.
But the whole budget?
Hold on one second, sorry.
Did you read this?
Not yet.
So I gave a copy to you guys to have in your records as well for your book, but we've been working on the budget for the past 2 months. We've gone line by line from all departments. We've made some adjustments which we feel were needed, either reduced based on our trends, where we've been at the last couple of years, where we are currently. Hard for the current year budget because we're only halfway through the budget year, but we've made those recommendations moving forward. We had an initial kickoff meeting that we met with all department heads. We told them that we'd be calculating the COLAs at 3%, which I don't know if Dennis had mentioned this a few minutes ago, but we had looked at the CPI as well, and it was at 3.5% for the Northeast region for the Consumer Price Index, but so we felt that 3%, it wasn't putting us too far below, but keeps us in line. Our challenge has been continuously for the last several years is that we fall below on wages on a lot of positions. We've asked department heads to minimize any new programs, given our need to maintain a minimal increase in the operational budget this year, which we did, and it is under 3%. I think it's actually 2.6. Several of the accounts, we'll talk about them as we go through, but we do have some carry forward balances, so we reduce those lines a little bit more because we know we have a little bit of surplus in those lines because they're carry forward accounts. And one of the bigger conversations that we've had, and I think we'll probably end up talking about it a little bit tonight, is the board has had many conversations. I know that we have a meeting tomorrow scheduled with the board chair and myself at York County Sheriff's Office, but as our contractual contract with YCSO. We've obviously had a contract with them for many, many years, I think close to 20 years. But over the last 3 years, we've had a lot of conversations with York County because of what we're getting for services from them. And specifically that on a week-to-week basis, we are looking for 80 hours, and we do not get 80 hours. We are actually on an average of 56 or 56 hours a week, thereabouts. Last year, we budgeted, what, $262,000 and change, and we're averaging about $200,000 a year in payments to the county. So there's a reduction in what they're actually billing us. But we're asking for too much money because we're not getting that service. The board back in November asked me to send a letter to York County, which we did. You have a copy of that letter as well for your records tonight. It's a public document, so you have it. But at this point, if we don't see any, my suspicion is if we don't see any major changes, I'm not sure there's a desire to move forward. I did put in the budget number just for conversation so that we were able to see where we were at with numbers. I plugged in $200,000 because that's based on our historical trend for what we've been paying them. So that is in there as well. And the only other big thing for this year, and I played with the numbers, and I guess if you guys want to put more into it, we can certainly talk about that and work with it, but in capital improvement, that's not on tonight's portion, but I did recommended a few extra dollars in the equipment and buildings, specifically in equipment, because we know that our short and long-term game with public works is for plowing of roads. And as I think John, you were here, when the auditor made his presentation, that we should be working to build up our CIP line, which as of today, $231,000 roughly is a carry forward account from there. Grand scheme of things, that won't even pay for one truck. So, that's where we're at.
Okay, all right. And repeat again for me, the total budget, because I don't have it in front of me, but the increase is
About 2.6%.
the figures you're presenting us represent a 2.2 before RSU, which is good, as I say, last year was 4.4, so that's good to hear anyway.
And we'll be monitoring them. Obviously, Dennis mentioned this the other day. We went through, we had the budget review mid-year. Amber's worked on our revenue budgets already. We're obviously in a very good position currently, and we were probably under budget on our anticipation on several accounts. Parks and Rec, we were significantly low. We can up that next year. EMS billing was another one that we were significantly under projected on versus what we've collected so far. And there's several others. I think it was revenue sharing was one of them. And what was it?
Excise.
Excise.
So we get, in just general government, we've got probably $500,000 as a windfall. But that's all encompassing excise tax, the revenue sharing and all of that stuff, so.
So basically, the revenues have exceeded what we estimated them to be.
Correct.
Okay.
And we'll get a projection, I think, from Main Revenue Services, usually April, roughly they post it, end of March, early April, for what their projections will be for next year as revenue share. And of course, we lost Rev Share 2 this year, but obviously we've exceeded on Rev Share 1. And unless the state legislation changes the formula makeup, we won't have Rev Share 2 coming to us again. And it's all based on valuations.
Okay.
But we've exceeded on revenue sharing so far in excise. And theoretically, on the rec side, is they're billing out per child that they're collecting, so we will hopefully cover most of those expenses. Obviously, the budget's based on their numbers within the operations portion, we don't itemize electrical, heat, any building maintenance related costs over there yet. So his proposal is, he's making a proposal to increase the fee per child next year, which give his anticipated revenue even up a little bit higher. So we have some room in that in revenues as well.
Okay, all right. And when the audit firm was here for that meeting, we mentioned CIP was one area that could use improvement, for lack of a better term. What else, did he talk about roads? Or is that just?
I think that's part of it, all those numbers.
Okay,
in
that's all
CIP.
falls in that, okay.
Yeah, so this CIP is currently broke down to equipment, building, and road upgrades.
Okay, all right.
Or road work type of thing, or road
Well,
construction.
Dwayne's not here, so I had to mention the roads, because that's his thing, so.
Right. But all three of those. And we have some money obviously in CIP and roads, but one culvert replacement is expensive. Paving of roads are expensive. And we actually used a little over $100,000 out of the CIP line this past year to help us with the cost from the April storm we had, the April blizzard we had. Now, we'll get some of that money back, but we'll get a chunk of it back that we will be able to apply back to that CIP line, but we may not see that for another 6 months.
Okay.
But thankfully, we had a little bit of money to go to, because otherwise, we were about actually over $200,000 by the time we were done picking up debris and road work.
Okay. All right, well, any questions for Matt?
No.
All right, so I'd say we should do what we do in the past, just go through line by line of these departments. I took some notes so I can give you an idea of where how much the increases are. And we can just go down through pretty quickly, and any questions we have, we can ask Matt. So let's start with Department 10, General Government, which, pardon me, the The department recommendation is 633,285, which represents about 3.3% increase over last year. And the personnel services, 458,077, as opposed to 431. And the salaries at 423,78, that shows about a 4.4% increase over last year. And going down through it, you have facilities maintenance at 54,382. It's a small increase, a couple thousand over last year. Select board, 26,000. When was the last time that was adjusted? A couple of years ago?
I don't, to my knowledge, it hasn't been adjusted for many years.
Okay.
It looks like the last time was in 22.
That's right, it's right here in front of us, 22. So what is the select board, what is the compensation per meeting or per selectman? Do we know?
Divided out
It's
monthly.
monthly.
It's
yes.
monthly stipend?
$5 grand,
Okay,
and the chair gets an extra $1,000.
okay.
So, in 22-23,
Right?
it was 24,
24,331, yeah.
and so, but there was some budgeting mistakes.
Okay.
In that, but,
And
so,
some
you look at 21, 22.
Right.
It
Oh,
was
yeah, that was
26, and then it went down to, but that was a matter of,
We identified payroll errors.
It was
Right.
payroll errors, yeah.
but since, in starting in 23, or 24,
Right?
right, it was 26 grand for the 5 selectmen, with the chair getting an additional 1,000. So that will have to change to the town council. And yours will have to change to the town manager, so.
In July. So that will be the other, our charter will have some implications as far as the language for some positions in July 1.
Okay.
Namely, the selectmen won't be selectmen, they'll become council.
So basically, when I had at fault, I've not read the charter, was that a change in duties or just a change in titles?
Change in title.
Titles.
Okay.
I mean, Matt, it's a town administrator.
Right.
But he has all of the duties of a town
Of a
manager.
town manager, yeah.
So they're gonna rename it town manager.
It makes sense. I never, when I first came, the town administrator, I was like, wasn't that just a town manager? But,
So nothing changes, put it that way,
Okay.
his title.
In the deputy town clerk, the deputy treasurer, the deputy treasurer, all of
Mhm.
that becomes, he no longer has all of those titles.
Right,
So that will change.
okay, all
So
right. How did you arrive at the $5,000 per month for the selectmen? What criteria did you use? Were you doing comps? Were you doing,
No, I think it was just really, between the 5 of us, when it went to 5-person board back in the early 2000s, I think the compensation was probably $3,000 or $3,500 a year per select person, and then, it's just kind of crap up from
Sure.
there. But, and I think Dwayne made the motion to pay the chair an extra $1,000, right?
Yeah.
But that was several years ago.
okay. At this point, I'm inclined just to move forward with what we've got, but to revisit it, I'd rather talk about it a little bit more, talk to Dwayne, talk to you guys about it a little more before I do any you know, I'm flying blind, or it's just grab a number and throw it out there.
And it's, we haven't added the 3% into that either.
Mhm.
You know, that's certainly, not that 3% on $5,000 is gonna add, you know, a lot, add up to a lot. But it hasn't obviously changed in several years.
Okay. Okay. Okay, the administrative assistant, 26,000, right where it's been. Excuse me, wrong line. 51,146, which again, is that the 3% I'm seeing? Okay. Motor vehicle agent, 69,405, up from 63,057.
And that does include the general assistance
Okay, I
responsibility
thought
as
that
well.
was the case, yeah.
And Nancy has certainly taken on a significant training role in the front.
Yes.
In working with our new clerk as well.
Yep. Yeah, okay. Line 10, deputy town administrator, $100 stipend when Matt is absent, which is down 4,000, obviously reflecting the fact you're not using it, or, I don't know.
Well, it was 5,000.
Right, so you're down 1,000.
We're down
Yeah.
1,000, yes. No, probably don't take as much time as I need to.
Customer service rep, 46,497, which again is the 3%. Assisting assistant, 56,934, excuse me, 54,600 last year. Safety training officer coordinator, 3,000. I'm assuming we're doing less training.
So that's a stipend for additional workload to manage our OSHA training.
Okay.
And we instituted that after we had our last Bureau of Labor Standards inspection on it.
And we pay that quarterly.
Town administrator contract salary with fire chief, 57,649. Now, that number includes the fire chief's pay? No, I don't think it did.
No,
Okay.
they're separate. We
Yeah.
charge them to different lines.
Yep.
Okay.
Finance, HR, and admin over at the fire department, 54,662. Again, reflecting 3%. Line 16, 55,005 overtime general government, 3,500, which is right where it was last year.
We don't have a lot of overtime, just so you know. It's primarily for cash ups or anything additional workload.
Okay.
Maybe with Nancy if she holds over. For the most part, it's Nancy.
Okay.
If she holds over.
Retirement. I don't understand what town contribution, 8.5, more than 9%, I don't understand.
So the town we have two options for retirement.
Yep,
Main PERS and the 457 program through Nationwide.
okay,
And main PERS, we're required to pay a contribution amount equal to what our agreement is with main PERS.
okay,
Those that are on main, on 457 through Nationwide are capped at
Okay.
8.5.
all right,
And those numbers are obviously dictated based on whatever the wages are.
okay.
Oh, okay.
So that number for this year, 30,902, and as opposed to 22,314 last year. And again, that's a reflection of wages.
So as any of the wages are adjusted with the 3%, then
Right.
the contribution amount into retirement is
Okay.
dictated by, with main per rules.
Okay, line 24, supplies, 39,000, which looks basically up from 38.5 last year. General office supplies, 25,000, same number. Postage, 10.5, up a little bit. Building, 0 here. Tax bills, 3,500, which has remained steady for the last couple of years. And tax bills is the physical paper that you're mailing out?
Printing and sending.
Okay. Utilities, 8850, up from 7,000. Uh,
We upgraded our phone system. We are a purely a voice over IP system now.
Okay,
And we did not, so our brain died before, so we've upgraded that. And
Yeah.
rather than paying upfront costs for brain, we have leased equipment that's tied to the whole package for the voice over IP.
okay.
So it's per unit, but, and that was, you're gonna see that change throughout all departments because the phone system is townwide. We were running on a system that had a brain in the hallway, and those systems are outdated now. So
Okay.
mostly it's all cloud-based.
Yep.
So,
Repairs and maintenance, $525 just for the radios, right where it's been. Contractual services, $62,000, down from $64,000. Legal, we've budgeted $40,000. I'm assuming we don't go over that.
we haven't, I think this year we're doing very well this year with legal,
Mhm.
but that could change as soon as we have one,
One, you know what storm
Yeah.
takes care of it.
one
Yeah.
storm.
Yep.
Our auditor and monthly CPA assistants, we don't, so really the language on the CPA assistants, we probably can get, we're not using that as nearly as much with Amber. We're not hiring them to reconcile books anymore because Amber's handling all the normal day-to-day
Okay.
duties.
Yeah,
So that's an auditing cost.
okay. And then 56, town report, $2,000, right where it's been. And again, people, I ask it every year, people still grab those things, the big book.
And I think we push them out.
Yeah.
Whether they really, we push them out the best we can. I know that in years past, Dwayne and Dennis have grabbed quite a few of them.
Yep.
And brought them out.
Sure.
To local businesses, and I'm assuming people read them, but
Yeah. Cost of being a town. Okay, unclassified, like 60 here, 14,750, down from 17,250. Charter Commission obviously is over,
so we removed the Charter Commission.
okay. And advertising remains at 4,000. And will the advertising number be impacted by the new marquee signs?
Probably not, because we're actually probably lower than where we need to be ultimately. In conversations with legal, our publications, the reporter may not suffice as being a sole source of advertising for public hearings and whatnot.
Right.
Even though that's what we've been using.
Yeah.
But, they want you to rent, or buy space in the Bolton Press Herald that nobody reads.
Oh,
And
on
pay
the
some
back
big bucks
pages?
for that stuff, in the back pages, but.
You get certain losers out there who read all those, but,
So, the electronic signs will certainly be used as well, but it probably won't impact this.
okay, all right. Incidentals merit at 10,750, help me with merit again?
That was for any adjustments, so originally last year when we talked about this, I think we came to a little bit higher number, and we all agreed on this number. Incidentals was, whether we're doing some small functions internally, but it was also that if, the example was our CMA. So Vanessa, when she got her CMA certification, that we have a line that we can go to make an adjustment in salary based on
Right.
improvement of certifications,
Yep.
making advancements within the positions.
Okay, animal control officer at 32,033, which is basically the same number you had last year,
It was a little bit less.
a little less. And that's all broken out. That labor mileage, which is all pretty straightforward stuff. Any question on general government? All right, so at this point, I would say, why don't we just move on to leases? But I think, and Matt and I discussed it, we'll go through things like we did last year, just go through all these items on the agenda. When we get done, then we can vote on each individual item, so that we don't vote on them when we've forgotten about them. So next, we'll go to leases. This is pretty straightforward stuff here.
In leases, you have several that have been retired this year, or that have matured. So obviously, we did not carry them into this year's budget.
Okay. So leases are 525. 722, down about 5%.
Yeah, from 557.
Yep, from 557. Your debt service is, I wrote it down someplace. Well, debt service is less as well, I didn't figure that one out. Interest I did figure out, your annual interest payments, down about 2%. Unless I missed my math someplace, which is entirely possible.
No, that's more than.
It's more than 2%, down from 71 to 56. Leases, 6,800, down from 81, and which is basically if your copiers, printers, so on and so forth. Questions?
And there, we don't have anything going into leases for next year because we paid for the cruiser. Our CIP system was relatively lean last year, or current year.
Mhm.
So the cruiser was paid for cash.
Okay, all right. Insurance, $1,019,458, up from $965,490. So that's up about 5.6%.
The majority of that is with Maine Municipal Employees Health Trust. And actually statewide, all the insurance premiums have seen increases.
Mm-hmm.
And that represents our increase rate for us. We have 26 insured, 6 employees insured elsewhere, taking the buyout. We have a couple continuous part-time employees. And then that also includes our health and dental premiums and $55,000 for HRA reimbursements.
Yeah, that was the biggest, that was 6.7% up on that line there, so I noticed that, which is pretty much, and we discussed on the phone today the proposal of the 90-10, the savings is $50,000.
No, not even that, it's 25,
Yeah.
25 and change, 25,891.
Okay.
But you know, we've actually, I think we've worked hard to get to where we're at today to be
I agree
able to be
100%.
competitive. And the big difference for Waterboro is what we're looking at is not comparable to the other communities, because a lot of the other communities offer 80% for family, and we're only offering 50%. So we're at 50% for family versus a lot of them that are significantly higher for their contributions.
Mhm.
We're saying if you're on family, you're picking up a bigger tab. So for that dollar, what we're really talking about, you know, doesn't mean that we won't have people that will jump on, or down the road, that what's our cost to retrain or to rehire somebody else down, you know, moving forward. So
Right.
we didn't see this being a huge benefit or a change for the $25,000.
Well, I think for the percentage of savings you're going to generate with that number,
We generated over
the
2 dozen.
potential of ill will that you're going to create would be greater than
Well,
that.
we generated this last applicant, we did for the deputy town clerk, over 2 dozen applicants, and we haven't seen that for several years. So I think we're in the right direction.
Oh, I think so. Well, again, you've done a lot to try to attract applicants and people, so.
I think our schedule was a huge plus as well.
Yes.
But, and to be competitive, same thing, municipalities, I think Amber probably can speak to this, but she came from a town that was on a 4-day work week. I'm not sure that she would have looked at Waterboro and said, I want to come work 5 days after she's working
She's
4.
shaking her head.
Once you work the 4 day, listen.
You know, so I
Well,
think
we were
that
talking
was-
today, Lewiston just went to it. That's one of the biggest cities in the state. So they see the writing on the wall. It's-
But I think that's one thing that, you know,
Yep.
even,
I wouldn't have entertained coming here if you guys were 5.
so.
That must hurt.
What's that?
It's not
But-
us.
But I think that's what we're seeing definitely.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
All right, so again, your personnel services, 954, up from 904. FICA, 255. Again, these numbers are all reflections of the wages that we are paying. So when they go up, these go up. Retirement plan fixed costs, 1,600 to administrate, I assume.
Yes.
Accumulated vacation sick time buyout, 35,000, right where it's been. Workers' comp, 81. And what would cause that to go down? I mean, I don't want to drag it out, but I'm just curious.
Based on where we are in their pool and what Maine Municipal has given us for their rates.
Okay.
And claims free.
And claims that we generate or don't
Or
generate?
don't generate.
Yeah, okay. Unemployment, 1,800. We already talked about the health and dental insurance at 578, 476. Insurance is 65, which is your property and casualty. And,
We saw a slight increase in that this year, but Maine Municipal will also insure us in the current year for any additional equipment that we add in the year and not charge us any additional, and we won't see that until the following year. Recently, a couple years ago, we had a big hit with the ladder truck, for example.
Mhm.
When we added the ladder truck on, we didn't take a hit that year, but we took it the following year.
okay,
But, like this one here would have the F600 on it, the new one-ton from Public Works.
okay.
And I would suspect that will continue to go up a little bit if we buy more equipment at Public Works.
Okay, all right.
But we should anticipate that.
Questions? Let's keep rolling. Town clerk? Town clerk is at, this year's recommendation is 5,905, down from 97,230. Personnel services, I'm assuming the new employees' salary is a little lower,
So on town clerk, the new hire is lower than the previous,
right?
and election expenses have been reduced because we do not have a presidential or gubernatorial election.
Okay.
Oh, okay, I was gonna ask what that.
So
zoning was.
that's a $5,000 change in election expense.
Yeah.
And we'll obviously be mindful, look in the future, that if our election expenses are gonna be higher. We had rented, drawing a blank,
What are those
the
called?
ballot counters, the boxes. We had
Yes.
rented those extras this year for the presidential.
Right.
Which we saw record numbers, you were there, so we saw record numbers, so.
We didn't have enough.
What's that?
We didn't have enough machines.
Yeah, absolutely. They were pretty well packed full, so.
Okay, so, and so I would understand then the increase in the employee costs. I would assume that travel,
Decrease.
training, lodging, and dues, those three items would all be due to the training of the new
So
employee.
we, obviously decrease on the wage,
Right,
and then we added in some training to cover for certifications
Right.
this next year.
okay. Yeah, because overall, the total town clerk is down 1.2% or so, supplies have been reduced. Election expense is your reason right there. 2,000, like it's, actually, that reflects a $500 decrease. And unclassified, which is basically advertising, $500. Questions?
Why did we have a cell phone reimbursement last year but not this year?
So that goes back a couple years ago when originally the previous clerk was to start handling some of our social media posts and some of our communications, and that's not happening anymore.
Okay.
All right. Let's move on to the tax collector. Boy, this book is pretty slick here. Is this, Laura, is this you doing? Look at her. Is this
I'm
you?
sorry?
Is this book you?
No, Matt.
Oh, I'm trying to give you a compliment.
Thank you.
All right, tax collector. 59,687, up from 57,904. Which is basically the personnel services, your salaries, 53,474, up from 51,917. It's actually 2.2%, so somehow below your 3% there.
You double
Unless I
check
did
that
the
one.
math wrong, which is
Yeah,
entirely
double check.
possible. Overtime, $500. Again, you say there's not much overtime. The pension, the retirement number, based on that salary. Employee costs are up a little, some lodging. I'm assuming when I see like lodging go up, that reflects this year you went someplace and you...
What we had in it before wasn't covering much.
Okay, I understand, so
Yeah.
that, okay.
And she's also in the process of becoming certified too, so she's attending more trainings.
So the total tax collector was up about 3.1%.
Yeah, that number seemed incorrect.
I'm gonna look if I can find it.
Let's move on to the treasurer, Department 30. The line 30, Department 30, I should say, 85,883, up from 84,848, which reflects just over 1%, 1.2% increase. Personnel services, 81,733, up from 79,198, which is, again, 3.2%, so reflects the 3%. The salary is 74,984. Retirement's 67,49, which gives you the extra points there. Employee cost 4150, down from last year, which is travel remains the same. Training is reduced. They received the training last year and don't need it, or the number was...
And this would be Amber.
Okay,
So,
all right. And lodging, 350, meals, 250, dues subscription. Straightforward stuff. Any questions?
Can you look at the pictures?
Well, I don't have any more papers. Do I?
Go to,
It's back here someplace. Matt, your books, they were doing great.
assistance.
I've got 19 for
19?
Ross Corner Fire.
yeah, because they general assistance bounces towards the back.
Okay.
General assistance is, I think, 23 on your book.
23?
I think so. It should tell you in the first.
23 in my book is unclassified.
That's what I have written here. I just did the math.
It is number,
General assistance.
it's
General
30, sorry.
30?
Yeah.
This is really the most straightforward one in the book, and we're having the most trouble finding it, so.
Sorry.
No problem. You're supposed to say Matt did it.
Take that.
General Assistance, Department 87, budget of $25,050, up from $24,685 last year. Just 1.5% increase. Employee costs, it looks like they're $950 as opposed to $585, and travel's $200 as it was. The training is up, has doubled from last year, as has the lodging, meals, and dues and subscriptions are up as well, because that accounts for about a 6% increase. I'm assuming there's more training or more seminars she's got to go to?
With the general assistance
Yeah.
at times.
Yep. General Assistance, Department 50, $24,100 is right where it's been. And all the numbers down below are exactly the same as they've been. $2,000 for heat, $500 for food, and $500 propane, $18,000 rent, $200 medicine, $2,000 for cremation, $700 electricity, $100 for gas, $100 for water. And those numbers have stayed right where they were since last year. Questions? Miscellaneous accounts.
This is gonna have some of those ones that we mentioned about the letters, there are
Yes.
support documents in there.
Right.
Are provided, but the highlighted ones, we did not receive any correspondence from.
So miscellaneous is the unclassified.
Correct.
Okay.
Choose this one.
So it's, yeah, 20.
Department 95.
So I put a red sticky to show you the ones that, the requests that came in that are new.
Yes.
They're not on that sheet,
Okay.
but in your book. There's like a little red tab
Yeah,
behind that.
Okay, I get
The
it,
new
yep.
with the
requests.
letter supporting documentation for it,
Yes.
yeah.
Mhm.
Got it.
Okay, anyway, Department 95, 842, 341, which is down from 874, 87, 3.6% decrease roughly. Contractual services, again, this is what Matt had discussed with us earlier. We had budgeted 262, 346 last year for our contract deputies. Matt has reduced that to 200,000 this year, reflecting the
What we spent.
reimbursements we're getting,
Or what we spent so far.
Yeah.
Yep.
based on the first quarter, whatever it is we use to do it. The $200,000 also reflects Waterboro, in fact, continuing this service, which is up to our fearless leaders to see if they can handle something out with the sheriff's department. So we will leave that there as we sit here today, but, and wait for further direction from you.
And I think our meeting tomorrow has been just canceled.
Oh, no.
Well, another question,
No
listen, maybe
reaction.
it's not the place for it, but another question. What could you get out of that meeting that would make everything better?
Well, they would have to react to our demands.
Right.
Number one, we have a right to schedule,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because they've always thrown that back as well, the union. But, you know, when you look at, you know, we budgeted 262,000, they billed us 46,000 here today,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, my guess is that the next quarter is coming in, but they should have billed us like 66,000.
Right.
Right? So they're constantly running, because
Running short.
if one of those guys gets called away,
Mm-hmm.
they don't charge the town,
Right.
right? But some of the evenings, right, or some of the days, right, they schedule the sheriff, or deputy sheriff, to be some other area than Waterboro.
Mm-hmm.
Or in addition to.
So, right. So, it's like the election. Okay? We ended up paying $1,100-1,200 for the deputy sheriff that was here, because he was doing overtime, right? And both of our sheriffs, deputy sheriffs, were working that day.
In
So-
Waterboro or somewhere
Right,
else?
so they were working in Waterboro. In fact, Stroud came in, on, what's his name?
Gould?
Steve Gould.
Steve Gould, right. Why did I get Stroud? So he came in early to relieve the guy that was there, right? And he worked overtime, and then he went and did his is shift. So, I mean, you get to the point where you go, well, in old home days events, election events, whatnot, we should be able to schedule, or if our guy is on vacation,
Yeah.
you need to provide somebody at no cost.
Right,
It
we
should be
paid for
costing
it.
us more.
Right. So,
Okay.
we've been singing this tune for 3-4 years, and they have all of the excuses, but no solutions. So,
And we've asked them to look at, treating the contract deputies similar to how the SROs are treated for the schools.
Right.
That they,
They don't pull them.
they don't pull them, they're not counted towards numbers. So if there's 3 on, the contract deputies could be considered part of the minimum staffing, which I think goes back to what,
nor do they charge them for the cruises.
well,
Yeah.
I've heard supposedly they do, but they don't replace them as often, apparently, that we use them. But I haven't seen that, and I haven't got a lot more detail on it, put it that way either, but.
That's a pretty good deal
So,
for the county.
but we're just looking to have, some of the notes for tomorrow is flexibility, influence, the flexibility and the ability to have influence on the schedule, working with the assigned deputies, coverage for the Waterboro events, elections, Old Homes Days, other functions we want to bring them in at, and then contracts not being part of the minimum staffing, just like the SROs. And I think it really goes around scheduling, primarily. And that's where we're at. We don't have any headway with that. And I'm not sure that we're gonna make any changes, when we do meet. And they're in Augusta, they're coming tomorrow looking to see if they can reschedule, so. Anyhow.
Well, yeah, okay, so certainly at this point, my inclination is to leave it there as opposed to saying, well, let's take it out, see what the selectmen
Well,
do.
somehow, and we had this discussion the other night, how do we announce to the townspeople
Mhm.
that we're doing away with the contract deputies? They voted to expand to 2.
Mhm.
So there's an issue with,
So there's almost a public mandate involved in it.
right, how do you mandate or determine whether or not you do away with the program? Because the expectation of the folks is that, well, they cover 80 hours a week. They don't cover 80 hours a week.
Their expectation now is it's working.
Yeah, so, we're getting, what did we say,
56.
54, 56?
And then not getting, but would we treat anything else differently in any other contract or any other language, anywhere else in the budget? I get this is gonna be a different perception, and I'm not advocating the fact that we need to reduce, that we need to get rid of law enforcement, that's not what I'm saying, but we need to have traction or something to have teeth in it for the contract, to have work with these guys. And their claim is because of collective bargaining and all that, and maybe it is, I don't know, we haven't been able to get past the contract language at this point. And I think this is our, at least 4th meeting, if not 5th. I was meeting with the sheriff, the chief deputy monthly. We get monthly reports, we're seeing the stats.
Yeah, the stats are terrible. I mean, if you look at motor vehicle stops, I mean, in a month's time, there's like 4 or 5.
Or less.
So it's like,
You could do that on my road in
yeah,
1 month.
yeah,
Thinking Deering Ridge,
Yeah.
you could get 50 in the
So-
morning.
Right.
You look at administrative charges or, not what it was originally intended for.
Do they have any answer to why why we're not seeing?
Well, because the sergeant declares where that person is gonna be working. And there's a different sergeant for each shift. So, you know, if.
Doesn't matter if they're contract Waterboro.
Right, right, and if somebody wants to assign somebody to Shapley and Waterboro, they're gonna do it, right? Because he's gonna make coverage. So my argument has been, and I told the sheriff this the last time that we met, we're subsidizing the rural patrol. So you have a rural patrol, but in essence, Waterboro is subsidizing that up to 30% of our 2 deputies, right?
So if we did not have contract deputies working specific to Waterboro, we would still have to be part of their patrol, right?
They've gotta
Would we
cover
get
us,
less,
they've gotta cover us with
Yeah.
rural patrol.
so how?
And if you look at the monthly reports,
Yeah,
you'll find that there are a whole host of deputies working in Waterboro.
so we just
That-
paying for something we would be getting for free anyways?
Well,
For
Well, not for free, but.
$500,000.
But the idea with the contracts, we're gonna have an additional coverage
Yeah.
for a lot of these things we've been talking about.
Yeah,
In the monthly reports, we're seeing that there is obviously 20 other deputies, whatever it is. And the notable events that the chief deputy provides us on a monthly basis,
yeah,
we're seeing that some of the deputies that that are doing this, it's not just 2 people. It's a variety of deputies doing this. And maybe that notable event isn't one of the contracts this month because there are other functions they're tied up on. But we wish we had a better relationship with the administration to have influence and work with them
yeah.
to provide the additional coverage that the town wanted. And that's not what the town's getting currently. And it's no fault of the deputies assigned
Right,
or any of them in patrol.
it's the schedule,
It's the
schedulers.
It's the collective bargaining agreements that are being hung up on right now with the county.
And I think that's an excuse.
I agree.
Mismanagement. Okay, well, listen, we've killed that one. So we'll,
So we'll leave it
Well,
there.
Certainly leave it there until.
Yeah.
yeah, to be
I
determined.
mean, we've got to make a determination of, and we broke it out last year as a separate article,
Right,
Yeah.
okay? And it's still, still passed.
yes,
But, and it wasn't close.
no,
I think there's some level of comfort with the citizens
Sure.
to say, well, we got 2 contract deputies,
yeah,
right? One on days and one on nights.
yeah.
That cover us.
That's the perception.
Right.
All right, so let's move on to Department 60, classified. Again, we start off $540,000, which is our estimated York County tax.
On the next one for you, John, on line 9, 5945 road review,
Yep,
just so you're aware that the charter changes some of the committees that the board can take action on, whether they keep some of those committees like road review.
Yep.
The board will have to make that determination moving forward after July 1, if that's still a committee that will continue.
okay,
However, currently in road review, they have $1,286 as a carry forward account for
Okay.
them. So we did not, there's no dollars in there for that one.
okay,
The same with economic development, there's $500. Currently,
Okay.
they're not meeting.
yep,
You have Lake Arrowhead Conservation Milfoil Control, that's $3,000. But then if you go to the one below, boards and committees, the $5,950. This again may change based on the board's actions of what they desire to do after July 1 with some of the committees that aren't specifically required per the charter. But that's a carry forward account as well that actually has $22,364 and change in it. So I put $500 to keep it as a placeholder so that we still have it. But we do have a carry forward balance in there for paying boards and committees, so.
Okay.
I just didn't want you to think that I was reducing that from where it was before, because last year with $6,500, based on what we had for carry forward and what we had been using out of it, I didn't think we
Okay.
need to budget as much.
All right. Very good. Community garden at 2,000, cemeteries at 5,000, stay the same. Taylor House includes the $25,000 agreement for storage, for data storage, I'm
So,
assuming?
I'll touch base on that real quick.
But it will only start once the building is up.
Yeah, so, well, we anticipate, so, and I guess that's, we want to earmark it just for a conversation. We're meeting
Okay.
with them Thursday night. That may change.
I was gonna ask.
So that may change.
I thought the building was years off. I know they're jacking buildings now, but.
So I think we're gonna have more of a conversation on Thursday night. We have a meeting with the Historical Society.
Okay.
And a workshop this Thursday at 6 o'clock.
So the 25 grand might come out.
Yes.
Okay.
It would make sense.
And I think the other part they were looking for that is, I think, essentially.
Commitment.
A commitment from
Sure,
us.
I get it.
So, they're building up their savings.
They're fundraising.
They're fundraising, they're working on that. They're saying that the space will be utilized for voting, a voting location, and also about a 40 by 40 records.
Will be big enough for
storage.
Record
voting?
retention? Is that record retention? that
Yes,
we're doing?
in the basement.
Should be.
And it would be climate-controlled records.
Okay.
Storage.
Is it fireproof too?
Yeah.
It would be concrete, yeah. And we don't have really any storage here anymore. We're out of space. So. And that
And
means.
they're gonna have a separate room for all of the historical society documents that they.
Okay, so we would have our own section.
And access to.
Okay.
And that meeting's this Thursday at 6.
Okay, so that could change, but,
It could, and I think that it could change. I'm not sure they can make any type of movement with financial obligations without having an agreement with us to find lending if they need it. And they've done very well with the fundraising they've done so far. Sorry.
No problem. Memorial Day flags and holders, $2,000, up a little bit from last year. Regional TV access, $42,000, where it has been. And agencies, which I don't know anything about, is actually $100 more than it was last year, $12,841.
Those are all the ones right below it.
Okay, all right, okay, I get it. Which again, the usual suspects, American Red Cross, Caring Unlimited, Kids Free to Grow, and why were they highlighted in yellow?
Because we have not received
It says it
requests.
right here, we have not received a request from them, okay. So are they just late getting their requests out, or are they just sort of throwing in the towel? I mean,
They just didn't send their request in
yet.
yet.
That's a bit unusual, though.
because some of these, I certainly support their efforts, but I don't want to give it to them if they're not asking for it.
Exactly.
Well, the Southern Maine Memorial Veterans was one that was added last year from Dwayne, because we had something we took money out of, and he decided he wanted to use that money for that
Okay,
vendor.
yeah.
So they might not send a request, but, I mean, you can still send it to these people. I just wanted you to know.
Yeah.
Yep, no, I understand. I mean.
And then we have new requests?
And there's a few other ones
Yes,
down the
there's a
bottom.
few down there.
Yeah, well,
We didn't want to not show them to you so you could see them.
the Centers for Wildlife, I admire their purpose, but I don't want to give them $2,000. That's a big request.
Yeah.
And Sweetser definitely doesn't need money.
What's that?
Sweetser does not need money. They have more.
They didn't request an amount, they just sent a package with all their information, but I wanted to put it in there because they sent stuff, so I didn't wanna be the one to,
They're
it's up to you,
requesting
not
whatever
me.
we can.
Just send us money.
So the ones in yellow, we have not received a request,
Yes, correct.
so let's talk to York County Community Action, York County Shelters, and York, Southern Maine Agency on Aging, so we need to at
Okay.
least notify them that.
I think
Okay.
those three are the ones that I'd be most concerned about not having received a request.
Okay, I will send out to
Yeah.
those three.
It looks like they actually expended the money. The money was used,
Right.
so it's not like we're, just seeing zeros in that column.
And they could have very well had a change in staff or someone that's
Yeah.
sending out the communications, and I don't have an answer for that, but we can follow up with them.
But the, American Red Cross Caring Unlimited, which worthwhile program. The Maine Public Radio, they're $100. Well, Saco River Corridor Commission, $800. But those three, and you talked about that Southern Maine Veterans Cemetery
Yes.
that Dwayne was in, so. Any more questions on unclassified? I think we beat that one to death. Old Home Days. Which now I can't find.
It's 24.
Where is it?
24?
Oh, 24, right in front of me. The Old Home Days, 15,000, which we do every year. The only question I would have regarding Old Home Days, I realize that they have gone from 2 days to 1 day. Would that not impact the amount of funds they need?
A majority of that is fireworks.
Okay,
A majority of it
all
is.
right, it wouldn't surprise me.
Amber, do you know what they were off the top of your head?
It was just about under 10 grand.
Okay, all right.
So they've got,
I was just gonna ask the question.
if you look at, they currently have a $10,800 balance.
Yep. Between the three.
So we gave them 15,000 last year, and they still have 10,000.
They had a carry forward from the previous year, because that is a carry forward account as well.
Yes.
And between bands, who they get signed up and who they pay for vendors, that'll come out of that, and then they use some of that for seed money. It was a previous year, we were, I think, I'm going from memory, but it was below 15,000.
But I think we had like
$8,000, I think, what we had.
Right.
26.
$8,000 or $10,000. When we decided to ramp it back up. And I think that's what they're trying to get. And, I mean, for what they're doing on Friday nights, that's not where their events were.
Yeah.
Their events were to get the vendors in on Old Homes Day.
Yeah.
And the fireworks was the big ticket.
How come we did two different accounts?
It's gonna be fixed next year.
Revenues is,
We were saying the same thing.
we only collected $275 all home days.
For vendors?
Was that for the donations?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta be donations. right?
Yeah, she didn't get it all.
Oh, no, it says vendor.
I don't even know what the tents were going for. It wasn't
I
a
don't
big,
know.
it wasn't a
I
big
don't
dollar
remember.
amount, but I know we didn't get charged to be there for we wouldn't, but.
Okay, so Old Home Days, $15,000. So we've gone through all the departments. I think we should vote on these as they sit. If we have adjustments we need to make later, I'm unprepared to make a stab at selection, at town councilor compensation for anything like that at this point, but I think we can address it. We can address that as a line item later on, can't we, for whatever we want to amend. Okay. So let's go back to the beginning, and we'll have motions, seconds, and vote on these departments we've gone over today. Sound copacetic? So we'll start with Department 10, General Government. Do I have a motion to approve the 633,285?
I motion.
Second?
Second.
Any more discussion? All in favor? There we are. Leases. Department 13, a motion to accept 525,722.
I'll make a motion to accept.
I will second.
No discussion, we shall vote. In favor? There we are. Insurance. Department 15, the number we're looking for a motion to approve is $1,019,458.
I motion to accept.
Second.
And if no further discussion, all in favor? There we are. Town clerk. I got a delay. What's the young girl's name, the new town clerk?
Kim,
Kim?
yeah, Kimberly, but
Okay. I was in sales all my life, I'm horrible with names.
True story.
It's not supposed to be
I
that
believe.
way. I spoke to her the other day, and she seemed, I asked her if Nancy was picking on her or not. And she said she was being great. So. Let's do the town clerk. Department 20, a motion to accept $85,905.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second.
And with no discussion, all those in favor? There we go. Tax collector, Department 25, a motion to accept $59,687.
I motion to accept.
I will second.
And if no discussion, all those in favor? And then we go to treasurer, Department 30. A motion to accept $85,883.
I'll make a motion to accept.
I second.
If no discussion, all those in favor? Okay, and then general assistance, which took me a month to find. 23,
Thank you.
no,
Was that the wrong one?
Yeah, 30.
30.
Yeah,
30.
sorry. I got ahead of myself.
General assistance, Department 87, motion to accept $25,050.
I motion to accept.
Second.
If no discussion, all those in favor? And now back to 23, which is your unclassified or miscellaneous accounts. Obviously, there are a couple of pending things here, but I would say we could, at this point, look for a motion to approve 842,341.
Can I?
Yes.
Just so you know, and just that $200,000,
Right.
depending on where our conversations go, but,
Right.
because last year was $62,000 more in that line.
Do
Just
you
so-
want
just so
to
you know.
go 262 to play it safe, or do you want to, I mean,
You could hold up the voting too.
That's,
you want to hold up on this until you guys meet with those guys?
I think it would be nice if they were
if you're okay with that, and
accountable.
that allows us to do the follow-up with the
Yes.
other
What they
through the
ever-
agencies.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if we can add this, add 95
Yep.
to
The next meeting.
the next, well, we'll shoot for the next meeting. If not, we'll let you know. We'll put it on for the following.
Yeah, that's,
Okay.
we can always bump it back. So, thank you, Laura, it's a good idea. So we'll delay voting on Department 95 until we
Correct.
have
Yeah.
all the information we need. And then Older Home Days, Department 97, excuse me, looking for a motion to accept $15,000.
I'll motion to accept.
I will second that.
And if no further discussion, all those in favor? Here we are. So at this point, we'll just wait for, and I wasn't doing justice to those new requests, but I don't have a warm feeling about the new requests either. On the miscellaneous donations. I'll feel a little better looking at them anyway before.
Well, at least you have them in your packet for what
Yes,
you do have.
which is perfect.
And then we'll work on getting the other ones, and we'll send them electronically to you, so you have them.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
perfect.
And then we'll keep you updated on where we're at with the patrol.
So do we
Yes.
leave our books here so that you can fill them up?
That's up to you. We can always print the sheets out.
Just print the sheets and we'll throw them
All right,
in.
So-
perfect, thank you.
Yeah, take them with you.
And then I'm looking at the calendar, which I'm assuming you have in front of you. Our next meeting,
Next Wednesday.
Yeah,
January
Wednesday.
next Wednesday. Oh, that's right. It's a
Monday.
holiday, right?
Yeah. The next Wednesday evening, good, still good?
So 4:30, isn't it?
Yes. Thomas, is that good with you?
The moms have to
What's
make it.
afternoon?
Next Wednesday would be the meeting. That gonna cause a problem? Other than a hungry family at home waiting for you.
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right, other than that, motion to adjourn?
Okay.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor? There we go.
Yay.
Very good.